What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So Derek Carr has officially been cut by the Las Vegas Raiders, and instead of being traded, he just got cut. And the reason for that is because Derek Carr on Super Bowl Sunday basically told the Raiders, you know what, I'm not going to greenlight any trades. Because if you guys didn't know, this past offseason, I guess you would say, before the 2023, or right, 2023, no, the 2022, before the 2022 NFL season, Derek Carr signed this like 3-year extension, no trade clause, like a very, very friendly deal. And with him having that no trade clause, he basically gets to greenlight any trades that evolve around him. So with that in mind, Derek Carr has supposedly visited with the Saints like twice. And actually, I think a trade was about to be made, or a trade was being made between the Saints and the Raiders for Derek Carr. But Derek Carr just told the Raiders, you know what, I'm not going anywhere. You're going to have to cut me. And basically that's what happened. So Derek Carr is now a pending free agent coming into the 2023 season. And I kind of did drop a video talking about what I think about Derek Carr and stuff like that. I do think he's still pretty talented, and he's about an average to a little bit above average quarterback. He obviously isn't sensational, but for most of these teams out here, that's all they need to take their team to the next level. Most of these teams that are, have talented rosters don't necessarily need like a freaking, Patrick Mahomes or a star-studded quarterback. They just need an average quarterback to be good. In my last video talking about Derek Carr, I said the Jets were my favorite, or the Derek Carr should join the Jets. But now actually sitting back and thinking about it, I do think that any team in the NFC South would be perfect for Derek Carr. And let me tell you why. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Losing Tom Brady is definitely tough, and with an aging roster, getting a guy like Derek Carr can really push you to at least make the playoffs, because that division sucks. So I definitely can see Derek Carr going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This could be a little sleeper because no one's really talking about it. But seeing him, Mike Evans, kind of like an aging roster, Leonard Fournette, there's a lot of veterans on that team. Lavonte David, Shaq Leonard, people that are kind of getting older. You know what I mean? I could definitely see Derek Carr joining that team and trying to do something, especially with, Todd Bowles and that coaching staff. Especially, I think they're going to get a new OC as well. I think they fired Brian Leftwich. So that could be a possibility, man. Hey, don't sleep on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They could definitely pick them up. Another team is the Carolina Panthers. Now, the Carolina Panthers are kind of like well, they're not necessarily a reach, because that's another team that's interested in them. And with the new hiring of Frank Reich, an offensive-minded coach, I could see some interest of Derek Carr wanting to join there. Now, I know there really isn't that much weapons except for like DJ Moore. That's the only weapon I can really think of. But I think if Derek Carr comes in and a few more, free agent splashes, I definitely do think the Panthers could potentially make the playoffs again, man. Derek Carr could be really nice on that Panthers team, and they could, do something, you know what I mean? Especially with the defense as well. The defense of the Panthers played pretty good last year under Steve Wilkes, so, they're pretty nice. So I could definitely see Derek Carr also join the Panthers. And with the Atlanta Falcons, this one's kind of like more of a reach. Like, this one's like most likely not going to happen, especially with Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota. But if the Atlanta Falcons want Desmond Ridder to cook more in the oven, they could bring a veteran like Derek Carr to kind of teach him the ways, because Derek Carr, as I said, he isn't a poop or shit quarterback, okay? He's not a terrible quarterback. He's just like an above average quarterback, or I would say above average, like average to above average quarterback. So he's going to teach, especially Desmond Ridder, a few things, because of course he's a veteran. He's been playing for 9 years. He knows what's up. He has some playoff experience as well. So I think Derek Carr could literally, be good for Desmond Ridder and kind of teach him the ways. And I could see Derek Carr joining the Atlanta Falcons team with Kyle Pitts, and honestly, that's honestly the only person, and Drake London as well. Drake London, on that offense could be really nice. And the defense, I know I probably sound like casual, but I can't name you one player on that Falcons defense. Maybe like AJ Terrell. Is he on the Falcons still? I don't know. All right, so I checked, and he is still a part of the Atlanta Falcons. Honestly, don't pay too much attention to Atlanta Falcons, so he could join Atlanta Falcons and definitely help out Desmond Ridder and stuff like that. So don't sleep on that option. And the last and final team is obviously the New Orleans Saints. Now, the New Orleans Saints are a team that kind of fucked themselves, especially with kind of going all in, like near the 2018 season, around there, just kind of going all in, sign these big players and stuff like that. And especially with the way Jameis Winston is playing, bringing a guy like Derek Carr could definitely help the Saints team out. Obviously, they're going to still have pretty good weapons, and obviously, I guess they're kind of rebuilding in a way, trying to get more draft picks, and especially trading Sean Payton to the Broncos, basically. But that's crazy. Imagine trading. I've never seen a head coach trade in my life until that happened. I don't know if that's often or not. I don't think it is. But seeing, Sean Payton getting traded to the Broncos, getting more picks as well, I can definitely see why Derek Carr would go there, because honestly, the Saints aren't necessarily like, well, Derek Carr as well. He's not, I mean, 9 years is a pretty long time, but he still has some good playing years left. So I could definitely see Derek Carr going to the Saints. Okay, let's kind of build to the draft, still have all these good weapons like Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, and I mean, the defense is decent. You have Marshawn Lattimore, Tyrann Mathieu, some stars. And you also have Jarvis Landry as well. I forgot Jarvis Landry went to the Saints. I think he was pretty banged up this year. But I feel like the Saints could be a better team. The defense is a lot better. I know the defense is a little old, and the team overall is a pretty old team. But I think with that, and especially with Cam Jordan's a beast. I feel like that could be another good option for Derek Carr, man. And that's the favorite. Like everybody online, everyone on Twitter is saying that the favorite landing spot for Derek Carr is the New Orleans Saints. So that could definitely be a big possibility. But there's one other team other than the NFC South I could see Derek Carr joining, and another team where I personally had him joining, to be honest with you, and that's the New York Jets. But after looking at that AFC East division with Buffalo, Miami, New England, going to the Jets would be obviously good, because I think like that's the most talented roster that Derek Carr could actually join, especially from an offensive standpoint. But that division, man, that division is tough, especially with the Buffalo Bills and stuff like that. I didn't really take that into account my last video talking about Derek Carr and stuff like that, but I do think that his best case scenario is joining a team in the NFC South. That's his best case. It really is. Like, he could join any team in the NFC South and legitimately make a playoff push and be in the playoffs like every year, because every team in the NFC South is technically rebuilding now, and especially with Tom Brady out of there, man. Derek Carr could easily take over that division. That division is going to be so shit for the next couple of seasons, and Derek Carr could just swoop in, get some playoff appearances, and who knows, and maybe go on a Cinderella run and make it to the Super Bowl, stuff like that. Anything could happen. So Derek Carr has officially been cut by the Raiders, and there's a lot of teams that are interested in him, and it's going to be interesting to see where Derek Carr goes. I'm kind of curious, man. I'm curious to see where he goes. I feel like there's going to be a decent amount of teams interested in him. I could definitely see some other sleeper teams as well. And who knows, man, if I'm Derek Carr, I'm either joining a team like the Jets. I mean, that's probably the best roster again. But if I'm Derek Carr, I'm honestly joining a team from the NFC South, because it's going to be such a shit division, and easily you can make your way into the playoffs. So right now, the Saints are the favorites, so he's most likely going to join the Saints. Anyways, it's been Daniel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Leave a like and subscribe. Later.